got approval to go into war and kill everybody, but he needs approval to do a land swap, because there'll be some land swapping going on. There'll be some changes in land, and the word that they will use is, they make changes. We're going to change the lines, the battle lines.
U.S. President Donald Trump has confirmed he will meet Russian President Vladimir Putin on August 15th in Alaska to negotiate a peace deal for the Ukraine war, focusing heavily on land swapping in the Donetsk region.
I was a little bothered by the fact that Zelenskyy was saying, well, I have to get constitutional approval. I mean, he's got approval to go into war and kill everybody, but he needs approval to do a land swap, because there'll be some land swapping going on. I know that through Russia and through conversations with everybody, for the good of Ukraine.
At a White House news conference on Monday, Trump expressed irritation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's stance that a national referendum is required to approve any agreement ceding Ukrainian territory to Russia. He argued that Zelensky's need for constitutional approval for territorial exchanges seems inconsistent with his authority to engage in wartime actions. The Alaska summit, marking the first U.S. Russia meeting since Russia's 2022 invasion, centers on Trump's proposal for Ukraine and Russia to swap territories, particularly in the Donetsk region, which includes key cities like Kramatorsk, Slovyansk, Pokrovsk, and Konstantinovka.
Russia's occupied a big portion of Ukraine. They've occupied some very prime territory. We're going to try and get some of that territory back for Ukraine. But they've taken some very prime territory. They've taken largely ocean.
Trump suggested that Russia, which currently occupies about a fifth of Ukrainian territory, including parts of Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhzhia, Kherson, and Crimea, would need to cede some areas, potentially in Sumy and Kharkiv regions, to Ukraine. He emphasized that these swaps would aim to benefit both nations, but acknowledged the complexity of adjusting uneven battle lines. Trump described the summit as a preliminary step to assess Putin's willingness to negotiate, stating he could determine within minutes if a deal is feasible. He proposed a future meeting involving Zelenskyy and Putin, potentially with his mediation, to finalize any agreement. However, Zelenskyy has firmly rejected ceding any land, particularly in Donetsk, without reciprocal guarantees, arguing that Ukraine's constitution prohibits giving territory to an occupier